Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
everyone.
hey. Do you remember us?
Hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We're all here, well, mostly.
In pieces.
None of us are still particularly well, but we're better than we were. And so
Right.
we're here.
We lost Eliza. She'll be right back. Yeah, we're here in pieces, but here we be anyway.
I think before we get into the general fuckery and conversation of fantastic, I've just sworn.
You're
And we were
good.
trying, yeah, so much for that plan. I'm sorry. Having said that, and then I do it, that is absolutely classic.
I love it. You good, Pearl. We're jerks, okay?
I always thought it would be me.
I knew it would be me.
I have just spent minutes before we came on saying, oh, we'll do this and this first because there's no swearing in it. So we can push the F-bombs back to the sort of middle and end of the program. And what do? First sentence in. I'm the
I don't
one
even
who
think
drops
the
the
algorithm
F-bombs.
paid
I am
attention.
so sorry, ladies.
It's
Hopefully
good.
it won't make too much of a difference.
It'll be all right.
Before we get into all that stuff, on a serious note, we lost checking convictions, and we're going to talk about some of the situation around that later. Not in the way necessarily that people think, but up front here, we are so sorry, Christine and Georgia, for your loss. Checking bore her illness remarkably. I know it was very sudden, but I know that she worked hard to try and get as much detail prepared for you so that you knew all the accounts and you knew what to do, and you did what she wanted you to do, and I really respect that. It can't be easy. I know some of it, shock will have carried you through for some of it, but reality hits harder every day in this sort of situation, and we all send you our love. She was a remarkable woman. She was very interested in justice. She was a very kind and funny heart, and I just wish you the best.
She loved us, and we loved her. She was a jerk supporter from day one. She was in every chat. She showed up, she showed out, and had a good time. And I just always loved seeing her little avatar come across the screen. I loved knowing she was in the chat. And she's going to be missed for a lot of reasons.
Checking's passing came about much faster than anyone expected. If you've seen our community tab, you'll know that we did put a video out. It was put out in very time crunch conditions. So a lot of names were included, as many as we could think of. Unfortunately, I know some of them won't have been included. I hope you'll understand that we were really working hard to just get something out that could be played for checking. We really did not know how much time we had left, and as it turned out, it wasn't much at all.
No.
So I hope that you'll give us a bit of grace if we missed your name, and that you give us a bit of grace if we included your name and you'd rather not be associated with us. We were trying to do our best, and we loved her very much.
Yep, sure did. Well, unlike a lot of people, I'm not going to come here and serenade y'all with Christmas music. I know that's kind of been the theme hitting.
It certainly seems to be growing in popularity, the old chat and chill with the Christmas music on in the background.
I swear, if somebody I subscribed to did me like that, I'd cuss you out. Don't come in here with no Christmas music talking about chat and chill.
Girl, did you say ascribe?
Yeah,
I think
no.
I did say ascribe.
Oh no, Pearl.
She said, "Oh no, you got herpes."
This is it. I'm being ruined. I need taking out the back and putting down. I thought that I was okay. I'm really not with it completely. This was it. It could get wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here looking at our background with the wonderful fire, and all I'm thinking is, hey, I should get my avatar to rotate on spit. Because I'm right above the flames. Some would say that's where I deserve to be.
With some music going in the background. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of people who think that I should be burned at the stake, Susan, how are you, Susan?
How are you?
You seem to have developed a new taste for us. Don't quite know what happened. Suspect that I know what happened, but can't actually sort of say for sure. I'm not going to get into all of it with you because it's just a pointless circular exercise in disappearing up your own backside. And I'm only going to say this once, not repeat it again in 3 minutes, and then 7 minutes, and then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then come back around in about 40 minutes and do the same routine again, unlike yourself.
Right.
But
get to it. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. You seem to have a bee in your bonnet about you were the person who did the Christmas lives, and now the jerks are jumping on the bandwagon. If you go back to Circle Jerks, all the lives are still up. You'll see the Christmas Eve live that I think was about 7, nearly 8 hours. We all popped in and out doing various things, all covered the time together. We did Christmas Day. We did a very long live New Year's Eve. They were not monetized, as opposed to your suggestion that we were making money out of it. Meanwhile, if I go back on your channel and look for Christmas week of last year, your Christmas Day live was not 24 hours. It was 2 hours, I believe, 47 minutes. And that was it on Christmas Day. I'm not sure whether you did New Year's Eve. I think you might have done New Year's Day, but again, not a long live. Don't lecture us when the facts are so easy for people to check out if they actually want to check facts and not just believe the bullshit. This is a pointless, stupid grudge match that you are taking part in on behalf of other people. We never treated you with disrespect. We were quite happy for you to play our material over and over again, and you were quite happy to do it. But now suddenly you started to go in on us. I don't know quite why I wind you up, and frankly, I don't care.
I don't either. I like
if you're going to carry on talking about me, then don't be surprised if I address it.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Hear from me. The solution is in your own mouth.
It sure is. Don't play little sweet victim when we talk about you, or maybe I hit your link. That's not how this works. I don't know who's lied to you thinking you can cry about it when they come up on panel. Nope. I don't know you, lady, but you definitely taken an interest in us suddenly. So just know how this might go. I can get it going. If you don't have any real reason why you're feeling this way and you're just doing it as somebody send off dummy, you might want to settle down. You'll be embarrassed. I promise. Just calm down. Because I can tell that some of this, most of this, because I don't even know you is a front, is an act, and it's kind of boring me now. But I'll find a way to get entertained.
Also, I've got to say it. Please don't tell me that you know everything about the submersible vessel Titan that unfortunately imploded with all its people on board. Well, you keep referring to it as titanium. Now, the hull itself was made from a mixture of carbon fiber and titanium. That may be where you're getting confused. But the vessel itself was called the Titan. Please, for the love of God. The Titan.
I demand a proof pillow.
A proof pillow will be on the way. We've got proof pillows coming soon. Where's Eliza? She bounced back up here.
I'm here.
Hey, the Clara is in the chat. The Clara, thank you very much for the shout outs. We're going to actually address those in a minute. And your friend Morbid and his opinion of us. So that won't be long. Stay seated. Yeah. We'll be right with you.
Nothing better.
Out. What proof pillow do you need?
What proof pillow do you need?
I just figured you'd have a proof pillow.
A Soup's dog.
I have that.
Grismo is Soup's dog. And to prove it, she has a proof pillow. I know that this is what is considered a receipt in Susan World. So, Susan, hold on to your pants because the proof pillow is coming.
The proof is in the pillow. It's not in the pudding. Everybody's talking about pudding. The whole time it was a pillow. Oh, glare. You were just live earlier, I thought. Burning it up today.
We can speed through. We can do a speed run, Clara, so you can hear it before you depart. Do you want me to go straight into that, girls, while Clara's here?
Let's do it.
Oh, wait, there's
look
the
at this
pillow.
beauty.
That proves to me that Grismo's your dog.
It's
Definitely.
proof. It's in the pillow. Do y'all understand now?
There's a pillow.
Yes.
That's absolute proof. Undeniable.
Said no fear. Said, where's the pillow? There's the pillow. The proof is in the pillow.
I want somebody who is informed about the situation with Lucasade to come forward. I've written to number 10. I have asked Rishi Sunak what on earth is happening with the Lucasade situation in Northern Ireland. I believe it's of real importance. So Captain Lucasade is in the chat.
Well, we're in luck because, believe it or not,
hey,
Lucasade proof pillows. Oh my gosh. They exist. Now the proof is in the Lucasade.
Well, I'm glad it's all cleared up for everyone. That's what's really important here.
That fixes everything. I showed a pillow.
I haven't seen no pudding yet. Has anybody seen pudding? I ain't.
Do we have a pudding pillow?
No. We're good.
I didn't know one was needed.
We definitely need a pudding pillow.
All right, ladies, give me just a second. I'll be right back.
Do you want me to move on to Morbid and his wonderful informed opinion of us?
Oh, let's do it. I heard he gave us a raving review.
Well, first of all, we have to put it in the context of why Morbid suddenly has an opinion on the jerk-offs, as he calls us. Newsflash to all these idiot men who keep falling for this trick. Do you think we didn't realise when we were called circle jerks and then the jerks that you would inevitably make the joke and people would come and look? What do you reckon? So anyway, the jerk-offs over here, as you like to call us, and we don't mind.
Hey.
We got 2 shout-outs from the Clara. Now, one was purely spontaneous, and the second one I caused. But the first one I will play for you, and then I'll play the second one. They're very brief clips, and then I will play you Morbid's little sort of snide, tantrumy response of uninformed bullshit that was caused by the Clara being so nice to us.
He got pissed, little fella. He got up in his feeling.
I mean, the whole story with Morbid is a whole nother thing. But as far as Heels in the Air goes, she ended up jumping on a panel while I was like really drunk. And I called her a racist cunt. And the reason why I called her a racist cunt was because there was plenty of evidence to prove that she is a racist cunt. And it has since been taken down. Once she was confronted with it, she took down these blogs in question. A channel known as the Jerks are the ones who actually found the blogs and exposed them. So big shout out to the Jerks. I want to give them a big thank you for being supportive, at least in the sense of what Morbid did to me. Regarding this picture gate situation. And yeah, they were very, very nice.
That's what we're known for, being nice girls.
Well, I want to say one thing. I'm going to let Pearl take it, or whoever else. Okay, Blair, I know there's some controversy around your name sometimes, but the one thing I've peeped with you, I'm going to say this, since Hill's Gate opened up, is you have remained with your beliefs and stance on this. You haven't wavered once, not that I've heard, or caught. Your stance on how you feel about Hills has not been shaky. It hasn't been wimpy or weak. It's always been the same, and I respect that because a lot of people in this sector didn't know how to take that when everything came out about Hills. A lot of yous were running scared. Just tell the truth. You were. Okay.
It has been interesting to see some people that were so outraged, but then like, okay, I'm over it.
Done with it, right?
Right.
Yeah. But
their convictions blow with the wind.
Sure does. But there's been few. 6 up, you're one. You stood steady. There's been few that have stayed steady with how they feel on this and didn't waver because their friends did. I respect it. That's all.
I respect it as well. It's and it's also coincidental, not that those are the people that Heels has been coming out the hardest. Her even paying money to Ziggy. I mean, my God, how can you say that you take a stance about tragedy pimps and you're in Ziggy's chat paying her money to put 6 up on the island because you've got an issue with 6 up? And now this whole sort of, frankly, I find ridiculous, nervous tears whenever the glare is about, like he's going to come through the screen. I mean, goodness. I know you're an older woman, but you're not that much older than me. I know that you're not in good health. Hey, neither am I. But you know what? It hasn't sent me into a sort of a wreck of blancmange shaking on a plate every time a guy sort of uses a word a way I don't appreciate. Sometimes the C word is the perfect word. Stop clutching your pearls and falling over backwards if somebody drops a C bomb. It won't kill you. Okay, no. This is the second one, which is down to me, but I'm going to play it anyway because I enjoyed it the first time. I'm going to enjoy it again.
You might as well.
Like, and she's like, from what I understand, like somewhere like close to 70. Oh, looky here. The Jerks. Thank you so much. You get a Cuck Church song real quick.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. 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 I think we got a super dad.
Pearl Devere. We Jerks appreciate the shout out. Heels has shown herself to be vengeful against anyone who showed receipts on her behavior, especially you. Yes. And thank you. Guys, make sure to subscribe to a channel called The Jerks. They are fantastic. I mean, it's just like they're not a drama channel, but they discuss the drama in the community and they kind of do it in a very, looking outward in kind of way, and it's very, very clever. And they are just the classiest, funniest bunch of ladies. And I love their channel. I absolutely love their channel. And they're the ones that actually found the blogs and posted them and showed the world that Heels in the Air was a racist. And those receipts are undeniable. Those receipts are absolutely undeniable. Now, they've since been taken down, but I'm sure that there are plenty of screenshots and things of that nature that are out there. But yes, and Pearl is just a sweetheart. I mean, yeah, you guys are amazing. I'm really glad to see you guys in here. Like, it really made my night. So yeah, it's just fascinating that this all of a sudden became about Heels in the Air.
That part.
Thank you, Clara.
That was
Yes, thank you very
undeniable.
much.
Yeah,
It was very kind of you. And if anybody does still want to see the receipts on Heels, we have a nearly 18-minute video that is wall-to-wall receipts. And you'll find it if you look in our videos. It's entitled With Heels in the title.
Yep.
And also there was a live that we did, which also has Heels referenced, and all the things that we had receipts from are listed in the description box. So anyway, because of that, the Clara's most notorious current antagonist, Mr. Morbid, decided that he had to comment on us. So I don't watch your Morbid. I don't go in there. I was sent this clip.
I just
So
recently
we'll
heard of it. Yeah.
Morbid's incredibly informed opinion of the jerks is.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Was getting some shit from a group of people, and one being the Glarer. Now, the Glarer was talking a lot of shit, accusing her of being a racist and all this because he got the information from a channel called the Jerk-Offs. Some soccer moms from the UK, I don't know. Some Karens, British Karens, I don't know. I don't live there. Who think they're hot shit, that they're investigative people, as if this information wasn't out by JLR a long time ago. The blogs and all that. But you know what? Who cares about the details? No one cares about the details. So anyhow, when I had Heels on here...
Did he seriously add his own commentary, laughter?
Yes.
He certainly doesn't care about the details. He just proved that.
He's the epitome.
Woo.
He's the personification of I don't care about the details. Once again, we have the meritless accusation that everything that we had was the work of JLR. I mean, that's such a bullshit. Our video is just sort of 18 minutes. It's all receipts. It shows some of the searches in real time. I filmed them as I did them.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows you in detail the link between videos, tweets, and the blog. He's going to believe what he wants to believe because he doesn't choose to be informed anyway.
Right.
But let's just assume for a moment that he has a clue what he's talking about and that JLR did give us all of that. Okay. So who did all
met
the
him in a dark
research?
alley, Pearl. I didn't tell you.
Who did all the research into Faith Davidson, who was the Summerwell's cannibal troll that appeared in Prague Gardens back chat and then up on the panel?
Cow lady.
Appeared in several of the panels, and I told you exactly who he was, how he played around with identity, whereabouts he lived in Scotland, the fact that he had in fact not been wanted for murder, but had attempted to stab his uncle, and exactly what his reputation was in other sectors of YouTube. No one provided that on a plate. How did that research happen? The research happened because I researched it.
Pearl took you on an ID investigate discovery episode that night. Did y'all hear me? I was like, what? I didn't even know all your research that night, Pearl. I was shocked.
The audacity of that dude who never knows anything, always says, I don't know, is so ill-informed to try to say that we are?
Well,
Get the out of
you
here.
don't even know where we're from. Like, come
Right.
on, dude. I get your little shtick you got going on here. That old shock jock. Yeah. I peep your play. But you can stop trying to act stupid like you don't know where we're from.
I'm not convinced it's an act.
Right.
My kids
Me
never
either.
played soccer.
Mine either. Mine played football, baseball, and cheerleading. That was their sports. No soccer involved.
Yeah. He's just he
Um,
tried it. Yeah.
And I'd like to add that where's Faith Davidson now? Disappeared from this
He
sector.
he
Just
kinda
fully
sucked.
unveiled. Can't play the game anymore. People know.
And can
then
I ask one more question real quick from you, Pearl? Do you guys have soccer in the UK or is it football?
We call it football. And unlike
So how
American
would
football,
soccer
which is
moms
mostly
be
in the
from
hand,
the
it's
UK?
well, yes. The soccer mum is not really a phenomenon over here. I mean, the Karen is, but I wouldn't say that any of us are Karens either.
Not at all.
Also, can I just go back to one last thing? Who does he think gave us all the details on Nick the Hat Siesta Theo, who suddenly came back on YouTube covering the case of Danilo Cavalcante, the escaped convict? He was hanging around with JLR and he was still on parole. And more interestingly, he was convicted of faking documents that suggested that the parole office that he was under were racist and had sent racist letters, and he faked other he bought cameos of different celebrities and then used them to create stories and sold them.
Yeah.
So he is a disgraced former journalist. He was a journalist for the Inquirer. He was then sacked. He was put in prison for faking documents, faking news, having illegal weapons, having an illegal taser that he was given by a policeman that was giving him backhanded information. I revealed all this on here when his numbers were bumping up because he was covering an escaped convict. And I was saying, you need to be careful what you believe from this man's mouth. We know he fakes news. He's been convicted of it. He's admitted to it to a certain extent, but he was definitely convicted of it.
Mm-hmm.
Who gave me all that information? I
It
don't
was
think
me.
anybody else did that either.
I know. I met with JLR in the back alley again on that one, I think.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That guy again. I told you he's a funny little feller.
He is a funny little fellow. So, Morbid, your address to us. You're a man who can't do the most basic research before attempting to drag someone with the weakest, most generic insults that you can think of. I mean, we're not all British. None of us are Karens. I've never been a soccer mom, but I have actually been an employed and paid researcher. So you didn't get a single hit on anything. You are a mediocre mind.
Yes.
And you're the worst thing. You're a mediocre mind who thinks he's exceptional. The reality is you're just another person pretending to be unbiased. You're pretending to be an unbiased commentator when what you really are is not unbiased. You're just uninterested and uninformed.
And that's okay.
You need to try harder if you're going to come for us there.
And that's okay. You don't have to be interested or informed, but please don't pretend to be. That's all. And the name, little fella, we knew. You, Pearl, let him know what we knew about this name. How many ways could we change the name? Y'all trolled right into that. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Seriously, do you honestly imagine a group of women of our relative intelligence, even if you don't want to consider us intelligent in any way, that we don't know that apart from the cultural expression circle jerk for people who all agree, the original term circle jerk, the circle of masturbation, which is why it's been adopted as a cultural comment for people who share the same views, and then changing it to the jerks because we wanted to keep the same thing. No, we're oblivious. Of course, we had no clue.
We never
We're
heard that
strange.
before.
We're
We are
oblivious
always
women.
innocent. Always innocent.
Jerk-offs. The jerk-offs. I'm so triggered. Let me clutch my pearls and gather
Seriously.
myself. Come on.
Every time one of you sad little men like Benny Keys
He
or
was the first.
the
Shout
other
out.
Timu fake rapper, you know, some of the women on here, Tiffany Marie, and now you, Morbid, you fall into it every time as if we're suddenly going to turn around and go, oh, I never realised it meant that. Did you know?
How many times have we had this conversation?
I'm English. I'm not born in the 19th century. Actually, I was born in. I'm not born in the 18th century.
She said, actually, I was.
You know,
I'm
I
not
don't
born.
actually live in Downton Abbey.
Hmm.
You just ruined it for me, Pearl. I can't even work with you now.
Wow.
Anyway, I will not take lectures on our channel name from somebody who sounds like he listens to too much Chemical Romance and bought too much Hot Topic clothing and has never quite got over it. Is your bedroom still painted black? You
I smell
emo
Hot
little
Topic.
fucker.
Yes. Yeah, an obsession. You know the type. Yes, Pearl. Yes, obsession.
JBT's laughing because he's that guy too.
Anyway, I'm sufficiently bored of him now. Where are we going next, girls?
Well, in other news, Lord, listen, while we took some time off, y'all sure did. Y'all sure did. No.
And the laughs kept coming.
Oh my God, y'all could have took a break. I'm telling you, it's okay to take a break every now and again. Tanga, why don't you lead us into this one and I'll pull up the clip.
Are we going into the purple stuff now?
No.
Is this the pigeon part?
We should cover purple before we get to the main course so that
But
we've got
can.
all the snacks out of the way first.
Right.
Welcome to membership, Jenny. Yeah, I like that, Pearl. Why don't you go ahead? Because I know you wanted to speak on this specifically.
Perp has just done a live. Hasn't been around for a few days, apparently. Not sure that's true, but we'll take your word for it, Perp. I know your receipts can be a little sketchy. That receipt that you showed tonight certainly was. Her live consisted mostly of the 51 weirdo salute. All of it about Six Up. She is very, very upset that Six Up is covering her bullshit. It's funny because none of us have really wanted to get into the whole argument thing that is currently going over there. Carry on eating yourselves. It doesn't bother us at all. But it is quite entertaining. The other thing was, you still haven't mailed out all this stuff. And yes, you keep on about, oh, why are they so interested? Well, technically, we're interested because you know that when you offer something for sale, there are actually legal agreements made. You may think it's not a contract because it's not written down, but in most countries, verbal contract where an exchange of money takes place is still a contract. And in most places, it's accepted that 30 days is seen as the limit where you should provide the goods. But more than that, why on earth did you not take these parcels to the mail office, get them weighed, put the correct amount of postage on them as told to you by the person behind the desk, and then post them? For some reason, you did not put sufficient postage on, and your supposed receipt, we stopped, we checked, we looked at it closely, was in fact a note from the mailman saying, this isn't going to fly, there's not enough postage on these.
Right.
That's not a receipt, that's a note. It's a note informing you that he is not going to get involved in dealing with mail that is not sufficiently paid for. Don't be a cheap ass, do it properly. You know, go against the grain for once.
Just once. Like today, you could have went against the grain. and fired that live up and actually spoke on what you wanted to speak about. And let me do a little segue into something else. Oh,
Before you do, can I just say welcome to membership Metal Clips?
Oh yeah, definitely welcome.
Hey, Metal Clips, we love you. Please, I don't know quite how you would find it. You'd probably have to go to a channel. Metal Clips has the most fantastic Etsy store. She creates beautiful hand crocheted and hand knitted items that are truly gorgeous. If you are interested in something made by an actual artist, and seriously, anything that you make with your hands in this way is art. You'll love it.
Great Christmas gifts.
I'm telling you, you've got to check out Mods. Please drop her link. Please go look at her store. Check this out.
I'm sure Six Up will have the link.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metal Clips, we love you, and your stuff is brilliant.
Yes.
That little sweater that she made for Haven was so cute.
It was adorable. And Haven was so excited.
Haven's such a doll baby. I just love her.
But Purple, back to you, honey. Listen. Look, I know when things happen on YouTube sometimes it gets uncomfortable. We've been there. Lovely to anybody? Yes. So we're able to speak on this. Am I right or am I wrong? We've been
you're
there.
right. You're right.
Yes. So as much as you want to keep it quiet, you don't want to talk about it. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. And you might not agree with this. Part of you owes your subscribers and your viewers a little bit of an explanation of what's happening because they see it. And I'm going to tell you something. Your friends doing your work with their Christmas music. Hey, Ray, I said your name. You know me, Ray. I'll go right for it. I know what she's trying to do the other night, but instead of doing all that with Christmas music and side chat, why didn't you just help your friend Heidi out? Because that's what she really wanted, right? Right. And then we got Jenna on the other side over here. Now, Jenna, you do the most. Okay, you got to stand beside the person, behind the person, inside the person. You know, you're just doing the most out here. But you know what? I respect that a little bit more than somebody playing Christmas music with a side chat going on. So Jenna is the one who actually, look, your business is out on the streets is what I'm saying. It's out here. Go live, fire it up, get some bass in your voice, and talk about it. What are you going to do? I want to know. What? Everybody, drop a 1 in the chat if you want to know what's going on. I'm sick of this shit. It's getting on my nerves. You go live earlier and for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and show us a piece of mail. I was pissed.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know what we're talking about. We've been in that situation where somebody that you consider a very close friend lets you down in some way, and you're left with a whole omelette on your face, and you have to explain to people that you did just take everything at face value, even though people will consider that you lied, and nothing that you do can repair that. But the people who are your subscribers and members of your channel deserve at least an honest explanation of what is going on. People get very attached to the people that they meet in the chat and the people they listen to on panel. And it's not a lot to ask that you at least explain the atmosphere.
Yes, you come on here. You got Ray over here playing music, Christmas music, on a side chat. That's how she stirs it up. And you go live for 10, 15 minutes talking about KK and Six Up. Girl, nobody came for that, and you know that. Just tell us what you're going to do with Heidi, because Heidi ain't going nowhere. Tell them. Tell them what you're going to do. I'm listening. We're all listening. I don't mean to put pressure on you. Well, I do a little. But tell us. We had to do it. Anybody else got something to say on this?
I just want to thank the new members before I lose them in the thing. It's Ocean Tide, welcome, and Margaret Allen, welcome to membership.
Thank you, Irish. Heidi can't read a room. Coming in, throwing fits in a chat. as what she thinks is going to help her case right now. It ain't. Read a room, Heidi. Nope. Heidi, stop. That's not helping you at all. You're pissing people off, and they're hip to your game now, okay? They know what you're going to do. And then you're going to run off and you're going to hide for 3 weeks. A migraine's going to come on, them 3-week migraines until some miracle tea comes through. And then you're going to hide. Tango, your camera's on, hon. There's the Barbie.
I got it.
I just wanted to briefly backtrack to Susan. I'm sorry. Most of it is a joke on the fact that this is what happens if you listen to Susan. About 15 minutes after she first says the thing, she comes back and says the thing again. I'm going to say a slightly different thing. You keep dragging about Lucozade. First of all, you misunderstood the comment, how it evolved into this whole sort of battle of Lucozade and the countries that have got it and the countries that haven't and all that. It doesn't really matter. But how people who are from the UK and are in your chat listen to you, look at a map and call it a flag.
A flag? Hell far.
Describe what is mainland UK and what isn't mainland UK. And Northern Ireland isn't mainland UK, but then 5 minutes later you're saying it is mainland UK. It just blows my mind. I mean, first of all, the basics. A map is not a flag is not a map.
What am I going to do with this globe?
Pretty sure Donegal isn't as big as you claim it is, which seems to be the rest of Ireland.
Don't tell the flat earthers I have a globe.
But yes, yeah, whatever bee in your bonnet you've got about Wee Frosty, you are starting to sound ridiculous. You may think that you're doing a funny bit, but rather like the bit that you tried to sell as a parody of me. I mean the first one. That was not a parody at all, not the second one, which was a parody, but just a piss poor one. You're not. It's just ridiculous now.
It's pitiful.
I mean, I must admit, we have had some laughs with the Lucozade memes. My goodness, it has been the gift that keeps on giving. But you are doing the least with it.
Yes. And, while Purple has been hiding from all this controversy going on, I just imagine this all the time. Y'all look at Heidi. I forgot he was back here. This is Heidi on YouTube right now. Yeah. I couldn't pass that. Thank you, Pearl, for putting that in there last time we were back here.
You're very welcome, darling.
It was like Christmas.
Can I also just say, when we went through the experience of having to start a whole new channel and deal with all the upset of everything that went down, and we had, I think, 4 days from finding out to going live, something like that. Mm-hmm. During that time, I know that 2 of the other ladies were ill, and I had a TIA, and yet we still had to deal with it. Unfortunately, illness does not wait for a convenient time. Sometimes you have to deal with that and the rubbish that's going on.
Welcome, Niecy B. You're kind of a jerk. Thank you. That is true. Sometimes you just got to get on with it and let the people know what's going on because they see it, they peep it, and Heidi can drive away like this. You think? I don't either. Not yet. She's hanging on. She
looks like she's on her way to file a report.
And she's about to go file a report, so somebody better do something.
She got
somebody
in
needs
the back
to walk
seat
to check the rearview mirror because I think it's ink in the back.
Oh, I thought it was Ray Ray.
Shit, Ray Ray's over there playing Christmas music. Hell.
Well, if it's Ray Ray, she's safe. If it's ink, I'm not so sure.
My money's on ink. Anyway, they'll do what they do, I guess. I'll be here watching from the background. You like that, Clara? I knew you'd like it. She's on her way to tell the feds. Yes, They hate her. That's that lady calling from YouTube again, bothering us about something.
She wants an APB put out for over Peron, paging over Peron.
Oh, man. I'll miss those days. She does have to find another channel. I will miss those days. I was doxxed. Well, are we ready for the other part of the show?
Yep, I guess we better do it.
Good Lord. Okay. I'm going to pull it up. I'll let y'all go ahead and lead us in.
Well, as you know, unfortunately, checking convictions passed. And on the Friday before she passed on the Saturday morning, there was a very long live, by White Boy Lockdown and his partner Damaged Goods. And it all became a bit confusing. Rather than waiting to find out definitely what was happening, now it may be that you could put it kindly and say that it was enthusiasm. You could say that it was that feeling of needing to do something.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, I do know that they should have waited.
Oh, indeed.
It is not the place of anyone, no matter how close you think you are to somebody that you have met on YouTube and become friends with. You are never more significant than their direct family members when
Never.
this happens. When someone passes with the best will in the world, you should let the family lead.
Always.
So, a whole sort of no one knew what was going on. They said that they were going to try and help the family, and they were sort of, if anybody wanted to send donations. And again, it may just be that it was over enthusiasm and that need to do something. I don't know. The receipts are not out anywhere for us to know one way or another definitely what happened. That is not the point of what we're talking about tonight. The point is behaving with some grace. Even if you feel that you've been unkindly judged by the family, think logically. They are in a point of shock and grief. You can wait to sort out things with them, both for them and with them, if some sort of debate or argument kicks off.
Yeah.
Checking's daughter went live, and you instantly went live.
It was
And so
weird.
it became a battle of channels. And yeah. And so here we are.
And here we are. And Lady Noelle, is that her name? I never heard
Yes.
of you before. Y'all made me really uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to tell you the truth. Y'all made me real uncomfortable. Y'all were all over the place. She had a cigarette in her hand. I don't know if she ever lit it, smoked it, what, but that cigarette was in there for 3 days. It felt like 3 days.
Was it a Marlboro 1000?
It had to have been. You were interrupting each other. You didn't have your receipts. I'm using air quotes. You can't see that. Together. You kept talking about these receipts. You were going to show them. Nothing was ever thrown up on the screen. If it was, you start hollering at White Boy. White Boy started hollering at you. You had that cigarette shaking in your hand, wobbling around. It was a mess. Let me tell you, it was so bad. And you looked corny, creepy, all the bad things. You looked. There was no way to win here. None. And then you come on, a nervous wreck, never lighting that cigarette. I don't know, or you smoked 50 of them. It was bad, and you had no place.
Mama Jerk, thank you.
Thank you, Mama Jerk. Love you, Mama Jerk.
Wow.
Thank you, Cindy.
You are a darling, and we do appreciate you so much. And mostly we love just you. But thank you. Thank you so much.
Always. It was very uncomfortable. I hope that the family didn't watch it. I hope they stayed away from this live stream. If you're in here now, don't watch it. If you don't, it's just something we're going to cover though. But yeah, this wasn't your place to do. And you never win in the end. I don't think what Pearl said, I agree with. You know, you're never going to be above the family. That's just how it is. I don't, especially off YouTube.
It was just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just wrong. No matter how you look at it, it was just disrespectful.
Even
And the
if you
loss of a parent, I mean, no matter how old you are, that's a deep and profound loss. And for this to have gone on within days, and you calling yourself her friend, lady, you got a lot to learn about friendship.
Yeah, because this wasn't it.
She was acting like the loss of checking was bigger to her than it was to her family members, and that was just so tacky and so gross.
Tacky. Thank you. That's the word I've been reaching for, and it would not come to tacky. That's all it kept coming across to me. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
but I'm
checking was classy to the end. I'll tell you how classy checking was. It was a member of her family's birthday on that Friday, and checking managed to make it past midnight, so that when she passed, it was a different day. So that family member didn't have to think of their birthday and the loss of checking on that day. Classy to the end,
classy
even
to the end.
She got past that midnight hour and into the next day, and she made sure that she did not spoil that family member's birthday. And God love her.
God love her, that's for sure. But we're going to go over a little bit of this because, you know, we talked about it. White boy, you're tagged. I had to subscribe to you to tag you. The hell with you, YouTube. Why? When did you do that update? But to tag somebody now, you got to subscribe to them. But you're tagged. And we're going to go over some of this. And yeah, I just want to go over a little bit of this. Not too much because it makes me nervous. Lady, you were a mess.
Way for me to prove that this is a bunch of nonsense and that I did nothing wrong is to pull out screenshots and things like that. And I didn't want to have to do that to this person because I feel as though that would be betraying checking. And I don't ever want to do that to her. I love her dearly. I'm still, just like everybody, mourning the loss of an amazing person. The person should be mourning as well. But instead, they are partying on YouTube every day and every night. And that's fine. They want to run my name through the dirt. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, wasn't going to say anything. But you know what? There's no reason for it. You want to know why there's no reason for it? Because the other night we were live, and it's still up. If anybody wants to refer back to it, it's still up.
Yep.
And I'm going to say a couple of things because I've been told here that a bunch of things are being said that are not only ridiculously absurd, untrue, but were discussed in that live with that person. So this is how we're going to do it. Anybody that wants to go back to my live on Thursday night when she was on my Thursday night. Not Thursday, it was Friday night.
It's called an honor of checking convictions. Can I say one thing real fast?
Yes, please.
I don't want to interrupt you. So one thing that checking loved.
This right here happened a lot throughout this show that night. I don't want to interrupt you 50 more times. And look at her face. And their subject matter was just as tacky.
About me and Noelle was, you know, how we would do content and stuff. And especially about reviewing somebody, it was always factual, always, you know, whether it's a screenshot, whatever, it's in the voice calls, you know, but she would know I would take it to the point to get the point across, you know. So it just sucks that here we are tonight, and okay, that's all I got.
Well, and that's that. Well, yeah, like I said, I had no clue that person was live, and you know what? I don't really give a fuck either. I don't, because I'm just not. Fuck that. Anyway, here we go.
That person that she's referring to is Checking's younger daughter. Have some decency. If you can't refer to her by her name, then refer to her as Checking's younger daughter. There was no need to be a bitch about it.
None. And you didn't move anybody with all that either. I know you think you're cute with all that emotion and that cigarette flopping around. You're not cute. You embarrassed yourself.
One thing I know for a fact is that Check would tell me to stand up for myself. And she would also tell me it wouldn't matter who it was against, especially this person. Stand up for myself. Do not get walked all over. Do not get trashed. Do not let anybody run my name through the dirt and make me something I'm not. I am not a scam artist. I am not a liar. I'm not a thief. I am somebody who was there every day for Chuck. I knew she was sick a long time ago before everybody else did, because a lot of people know her and are really close with her, but don't talk to her off of face of you.
Oh God! For one, color checking. It ain't going to hurt you to say check. I was close with her. Check. You think that makes you closer? Anyway, that gets on my nerves for one. And then all this extra stuff you're doing right here, this crying. I was close with her, better than anyone off this YouTube. Bad move. Bad move.
And
You would never be as close as her daughter.
And this pretending like nobody knew. She came into the Jerks chat and put it in chat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a secret.
Yeah.
It wasn't that nobody knew. Everyone knew.
And another thing, lady, it wasn't a competition. What's your name? No. You go by Noel? No.
No.
Right.
YouTube. They talk to her here or on the internet in some platform, not on the phone, not texting, not for hours or entire days at a time. And see, I did. And we knew for quite a few years that she was sick. And then we knew it was worse. And she had to live the remaining of her life just sad and scared because she knew she was going to die and there was nothing she could do about it. Okay.
No one.
Well, ain't that nice? You got this nut on here, can't smoke a cigarette. Looks like she's had 50 cups of coffee talking about what? Take it, Pearl. I'm too heated.
Well, you can also shorten her name down since it's a channel name to Damn. So it can either be No or Damn.
You claimed that you knew that she was ill for years. You might have known that she wasn't in the best of health for some reason. But you didn't know that she had cancer and that she was dying for years. She didn't know. Her family didn't know. There were signs that she had some sort of illness, but it could have been several things. No one who is dying or is the friend of somebody who is dying would say, just as she's passed, when you know her family and her friends are listening, that she was sad and she was scared. That is not the language of a friend. It just isn't.
You really ain't. Oh.
I texted her every day after she went silent of the pain, and she couldn't talk anymore and she couldn't text and she just couldn't. And I still texted her every day telling her I loved her and everything else. And then her daughter texts back on Thursday. I'm trying to remember exact days. Yes, Wednesday Thursday, I apologize. Thursday, Christina had told me that Czech was non-responsive as of that morning. So Arctic and I were planning on doing a live on Tuesday, the following Tuesday, which was the past Tuesday, in honor of Czech. But because of my anxiety and my panic attacks, I knew we didn't have enough time. I rushed it and I did it on Friday night.
My anxiety and panic attacks? Really? If you're having anxiety and panic attacks, just shut up. Do us all a favor and shut up.
And I'm happy I did because she was able to hear some of it. I was actually live with her daughter on panel when she passed away. Christina was unable to come on because she was with her mother while she was passing away. And that's where she was. And so she stayed with her, and that's where she should have been. She should have been there next to her mom, by her side, on her bed, on her chair, anywhere, holding her hand, loving her, hugging her. She should have been there. That's where she belonged. Everybody belonged there. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Everybody should have been there. Maybe not the little ones, but the adults definitely.
Do you know where that daughter was? That daughter was with her daughter.
Yeah.
because it was a family birthday. Now, if you're a grandmother or a mother and you know that you could be passing at any time, do you think that you would have made it clear to your child that you wanted life to carry on for her children as much as possible and as normally as possible? And that somehow, even in the depths of unconsciousness, you managed to get through to the next day, so you didn't die on that family member's birthday.
Because I wanted to. I tagged you in it because we're talking about you. Don't come in here acting like you don't know what's going on, white boy. You saw your name. You know where to go to see your name in the mentions. Now, why do you think you were in here? Don't play dumb.
And we aren't up here to talk about the money at all. We're up here to talk about the behavior.
I think he's quiet.
You might want to listen before you start attacking and going on about receipts. You might want to listen. Actually, I think that we've given you more grace than most people have given you. I'm not sure it's all deserved, but I will give it to you nevertheless. You don't have the right to say where Checking's daughter should be when Checking was at the point of passing or not. Checking's daughter was doing what Checking wanted her to do. You respect that.
And now we're talking about it because you made a fool of yourself, you and your wife. No.
Damn.
In honor of Checking Convictions. It's a pretty long live. But throughout the live, when donations are getting talked about, I'm telling her to, this lady George, I'm telling her to create, PayPal stuff, source of links where people can send however they can send money. Okay. But whenever it was getting brought up, as far as Noelle's Cash App went, you could see me right here on the couch with her. I was trying to get out of that. Okay. For the simple fact that it's the same exact reason why I don't do GoFundMe's on my channel.
And I didn't ask him or mention it to him because he would have told me no, not to do it. And the reason I didn't consult with him is because I knew he was going to do that and I wanted to help her. Right. That's why. So that's my fault. I shot myself in the freaking face.
Think about what we're saying right now. It's ridiculous.
But I have the screenshots.
But you did it out of the kindness of your heart.
For checking, I did the right thing. I did everything for her.
The reason I don't do GoFundMe's, or I'll never.
Now this went on for a long time. How long did y'all talk over each other, white boy? Did y'all ever get anything? We ain't gonna get into all that. But did you ever get anything thrown up on that screen? I doubt it.
Did the Cash App, put myself as the Cash App person as you did, is because of this shit right here. Because there's always some type of shenanigans. So I try to steer way far from that. And trust me, Noelle, after this has been brewing for a few days, people. Just so you know, it's been brewing.
It's not, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be happening. I didn't want to do this.
Nobody wants to do this, first and foremost. Second off, if someone's gonna continue to just try to paint a narrative, well, how do you win that? You just take what they say and let's see who's lying. Okay, so that's what's happening tonight. But as far as this thing's been brewing, and until before Noelle went live tonight, I'm like, babe, look, do me a favor. Never ever again with the Cash App thing, because it's the same thing with the GoFundMe. And she already knew that, but because it's checking and she's trying to help, it happened. But we have screenshots of everything sent and where it went, so just stay patiently waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll highlight.
So is he still in here? You still in here? What was the point of this live?
He says this is comical. Kind of pre-shot the gun on this one. Stay tuned. We didn't pre-shoot any sort of gun. We're up here discussing the behavior, not your little.
Unfortunately for you, you're working on assumptions that aren't correct. If you actually listen to this, you'll see that we aren't making any judgment on what happened to any money. We're talking about the whole way this situation was dealt with.
Yep. And we can do that while you're down here talking about pre-shot. Calm down.
Interesting, though. Interesting that he went there.
Yeah, he thinks he's about that life.
I guess.
Like that, since we got that was already covered, and we'll show. Well, I don't have to show this screenshot of that because y'all saw it. So anyway, now I don't even know where I was when do you remember where I was before you got me off, darling?
It
doesn't matter.
Hold on, hold on.
So, we were discussing on my live that she had asked for the donations, the help with
Yes,
the
the
donations,
accounts, correct.
and that she was going to be closing her mother's accounts down, and that she didn't have a cash app for her mom or whatever. So that's how we ended up using mine until she had hers. And I even said to her, what are your accounts, and are they directly linked to you with like your name? Because a lot of people don't think about it, but I'm thinking privacy issues at this point. I want to protect her privacy and be as respectful as possible when it comes to that, because she has a family and because she is Chuck's daughter. I don't want her getting doxxed or anything like that.
All right, ladies, how long you think we go on with this? Because I think I've seen about enough, because it just goes on and on and on. It doesn't get any better.
It does very much go on and on. I'm quite happy to leave it here, and if people want to then go and view it themselves. But I would ask you to pay attention to a couple of things. One, the fact that White Boy makes such a big point that these people who are commenting on what's going on are all small channels, as if that means anything. Nobody is out here trying to get subs off you. We're not even in the same sort of audience sector. Believe me, I have no interest in trying to sort of judge you and therefore try and attract some of your subs. Please do keep them.
No,
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
then you actually had the nerve that there were only 75 likes, and until there were over 100 likes, you weren't going to show any receipts. This is
Yeah.
not a game. This is people's lives. You don't even have the most basic level of respect. And then you tried to insinuate that Georgia was coming online not because she was doing what her mother explicitly asked her to do, which was to go on YouTube and be in contact with the YouTube audience directly, because it would be so much harder to try and do it at an individual level. Georgia did what her mother asked her to do, and you insinuated that, oh, well, maybe she wants to start a channel. Maybe that's what she wants out of all of this. It was graceless. There was, even beyond the whole mess with the cash apps, you didn't have to do that. There was no need to push that very evening for any sort of financial involvement whatsoever. You could have waited, and it could have been nailed down as to exactly where things were going. And you couldn't do that. You had to get in on it immediately. No respect, no grace. And your comments here were the same.
Yeah.
It's not about YouTube. It's about an actual woman who has died and her family, who you supposedly love.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yet you're behaving like this. Nothing about the way that you behaved suggested love to me. Look, nobody has said anything
Nobody
about
asked,
Gabby.
though.
We're talking about the fact that you rushed in. Yeah, please don't waste any of our time. Good
Yeah,
night.
no.
You're very welcome to leave. And still it continues. You can't even make the direct point. You tried to suggest that you had phoned the funeral home and discovered that there had been donations and it had paid off the crematorium bill. That's not the case. That is not what the woman told you. She said it was paid in full. Georgia told you that the grandmother paid it in full. There was hope that donations could be made directly, but it's not actually a funeral home. It's a crematorial services, and they have every right to say that they don't want to take in small amounts, that they will just deal with one payer. That's their right. The family now want to pay back the grandparent, which again is the responsible thing to do. And donations that have been made will go towards that. You suggesting that they are still taking donations when it's already been paid off. The presentation of that is not correct. You're trying to make it sound as if they're skimming off the top of something that is already paid for. The phone call was not as you suggested. The things that were said were not what you said. It was merely told to you that it was paid in full. That doesn't insinuate who was paid what.
No.
I think that you need to back
corny.
up. You are so quick to accuse other people nefarious behavior with money that it feels like projection. If
It
you
really
find that
does.
insulting, I don't really care. You've come in here being insulting, even though I started this giving you the most grace possible. If you go back and listen to the start of this conversation, I bent over backwards to give you grace that you couldn't spare for anybody else. I'm at the end of that grace now. And anybody who goes over and watches this and sees the way that you people spoke about that daughter, it was disgusting.
Yep.
If you can't understand what I'm talking about,
what?
Then I can't help you, can I? Logic would dictate. If you can't understand what I've said so far, you won't understand me expanding on it. Good night.
Just don't hurt your little brain, okay? It might hurt. Don't do that. We're just letting you know what we saw. It was corny. It was a bad move. Shouldn't have done it. Should have kept your bearings about you. You would never come before the family. That was corny. It really was. And no one said you scammed anything. I'm saying what you did was tacky.
And it didn't need to happen. All you needed to do was wait 48 hours. Nothing was so pressing that it needed paying for in that moment. You could have discussed with the family properly. You could have taken time to both make a plan. You could have shared the information that the family shared with other people. But no, everything was complicated and a mess up, and you had to be in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're surprised that you've got egg all over your face. Well, stop juggling eggs.
I mean, yeah. And look, you going to do a live like that and think I ain't going to speak on it? Oh, no. That's not how this works. I know you tried to get rid of it, but did you see how many people was watching y'all? And you had to tell people to hit the like. Something's wrong when you got that many people watching and you ain't got a lot of likes. You know what I mean? I don't think people were taking too kindly to what you were saying. They didn't like it. Just wasn't a good move. That's right, Morris. It wasn't their mother. You never come before the family. You don't come in, especially off YouTube, like you know somebody like that.
They also had an issue with her, Georgia, going live on Checking Convictions channel. How do you suppose she was able to do that if her mama didn't set her up to be able to do that? That was her mother's wishes for her to do it in the way that she did it. You guys knew her so well, but you didn't know that? What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong. She's... Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
I was going to say the slight insinuations that she was somehow faking her lack of knowledge about StreamYard. What you didn't know was that somebody was actually back there helping her with everything. You sort of tried to make it sound as if, oh, she was pretending she didn't know what to do, and then suddenly she's got a panel full of people.
Yeah.
It was just pathetic. There was no need to attack her on that level whatsoever.
And another thing, while we're on that subject, how many times did you talk about other people's sub count as if that was an important, pertinent subject? That was weird.
Yeah, he liked to call other channels small channels as if that had some impact on their credibility.
If you got 2 subscribers, you can't have facts. You can't be telling it. Are you okay? I'm being serious. Why would you say that?
I've seen some subscribers with some really large sub counts that weren't doing the right thing, got booted off this platform because they weren't. Seen it happen more to the large sub count people.
Yeah, don't get moved by that ever. Some people don't. It doesn't do nothing for them. And you kept bringing that up. Well, that's a smaller channel. Huh. So I wouldn't listen to nothing they said. What? No. You shot yourself in the foot there. It's a bad look. Kind of reminds me of this. Yeah, that's all I could see. It was a fail. I didn't want to play that all the way through because it got worse. Didn't get any better. It goes on for a long time. Yep, you were one I saw in the comments that night actually saying what I agreed with. I respect that. There wasn't many, but you were one of them. I don't care about knowing you. I've seen you. Knowing you, I'm good. And you drain this for all it's worth.
I'm sorry that your testosterone level isn't quite up to dealing with the ladies. I'm sure that there's some sort of tablet form thing that can help you with that. AB might be able to help you.
Bye.
If you want to do the whole hormone argument and swap cheap shots, I'm here all night. I'll bat them back with the rest of them.
Yep, JB, mediocre white man, that's for sure. Yep, sure is. That's what they do when their argument is null and void. You looked bad.
You're in the wrong place if you're going to pick on women.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Times have changed.
We've seen it before on the recording that it's quite easy for you to insult women that you have some sort of disagreement with, rather than actually deal with the situation.
Yeah. And I expect you to do that again. I expect you to fire up a live now because you're so triggered to. Yes. See what happens.
Oh, please do. And
do what
you
I told you.
You can talk about me till the cows come home. Intellectually weak. Well, first of all, I'm not a dude, although I don't really mind about gendered comments. They don't bother me in the least. Guy, intellectual argument. Please pull up a chair.
Mm-hmm. That would be so funny. That'd be pure comedy. But yeah, go ahead and do what you're meant to do. Go fire up a live, beat your chest, pound on the wall, do all that He-Man stuff, and get triggered like I told you to do. That's why your name's in the title and you don't like it. Now watch what happens.
Yeah, go and do your live. It will be pigeon chess. You can reassure yourself that you told us what was what and that you're absolutely right. It's actually what I fully expect to happen, and it doesn't change my opinion one iota.
No, I'll be looking. Look, it's been kind of dead around here. I gave you some life. We gave you some life. What do you think?
Goodness knows you could do with the content.
You could. And thank us when you're done. Okay? I want to thank you. You're welcome. All right, ladies. I hate to, but I've got to get down. Got some things to do before I end the night.
I actually think that would be quite a good place to leave it, because I'm not sure that I want to talk about anything that sort of takes the concentration off what we've just seen.
No, I want to leave it there. Yep.
What do you reckon, ladies?
I do think that maybe we should just leave the leave the chat with some prayer hands and for checking. Let's leave it in her honor instead of theirs.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Well said.
Prayer hands, and also, for old time's sake, a few tomatoes. They were Checkin's favourite thing to throw.
She loved that
who were people who were disruptive in the chat. So yeah, there's a few people tonight could do with some tomatoes.
They sure
and
could.
The family could always do with prayer. And more than that little emoji, I hope that if you're of the praying persuasion, that you remember Checkin's family in your prayers. And I know that I will be incredibly grateful always for the laughter that she brought, and knowing how bravely she dealt with this, truly inspirational. It is not an easy thing to find out you have a terminal illness. It's certainly not an easy thing to find out that the days are very short. And she behaved exemplary. She supported her family. She gave them as much information as she could. She didn't turn her life into a sideshow, which some people get tempted to do. Nothing but respect and love.
You can't help but respect that. Damn.
Yeah.
And she will be greatly missed by everyone who knew her.
Always. All right, y'all. I
Fly
appreciate you.
high, checking.
And we appreciate y'all for coming out and checking on us. Sorry we've been missing, but we're back. We're back. And y'all have a beautiful and blessed night.
I love you all.
Love you.
Good night.
Good night. You're embarrassing yourself. Go to bed.
Good night.